Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. It is Tank Fest day. Yes, by the time this video is released, I should be thereabouts at Tank Fest. I don't know what time I'm going to release the video, but if not, I'll definitely be on my way. Most likely when I get to Tank Fest, when I stop driving, I'll probably release this video. So by the time you watch this video, I'm arrived, I'm here, I'm at Tank Fest, and I'm going to enjoy the day. So those of you that is coming today, head over, watch us. There will be a Blitz stand, and of course there will be a few of us there, us YouTubers, and of course Wargaming will be there as well. For the first time in a few years, Wargaming is attending Tank Fest. So come down. It is a fun weekend. I will be there all day. So, head over and, introduce yourself, and we'll have a picture or whatever, and, just have a chat. So today we're going to look at, again, the Object 7772. I believe that this tank right here could potentially be one of the best tier 10s that has ever graced our game. Of course, there are some OP tier 10s. There always has been. We've got the Object 2684, for example, very, very strong tank. We also had the T22 back in the day. We've got the Badger. There is a lot of tier 10 tanks out there that used to be very, very overpowered. However, this tank, just playing it, everything that the tank is about, I honestly think this could be one of the best tier 10s to ever grace our game. I don't even think it's like mega OP. I think it is OP, but I don't think it's mega OP. I think there is more OP tanks around, but overall gameplay with the strengths of the tank, that is where I'm going with this video. I'm not going to say this is the most OP tank to ever grace tier 10, but I just think overall it's one of the best tier 10 tanks that has ever come into the game. So the turret on the tank is actually very, very strong at 260, and so is the whole armor at 240. You've got a DPM of 2,908. This is with me running with calibrated shells, so you could get that to almost 3,100-ish, just over the 3,000 mark, which is decent for a tier 10 heavy. Of course, we do have some heavies, the FE215B, we got the AMX50B. There's a few tanks out there with this this DPM, but not all of them have the strengths of this tank. The armor profile, etc. So it has an 8.8 second reload, which is nothing really. That's nothing for a heavy tank. That really is not a lot. With the AP pen, you've got 263, not the best, but it's okay. But the heat with calibrated shell is more than enough at 374, 66 on your HE. Now with an 8.8 second reload, you having 430 alpha is really, really good. Normally with something with that reload, you're looking at a 400 alpha. Yes, there's only 30 alpha more, but that sometimes really does make a difference. With 430 alpha, most of your shots will be above the 400 mark. When you've got a 400 alpha, you do sometimes do the sort of 300, high 300s, and I had a heavy the other day with a 400 alpha using heat that done just under 300, so you're looking at sort of 280 for a heavy. Yeah, crazy. But with the 430 alpha, the chances of higher rolling as well, sort of towards the 500 mark every 8.8 seconds. Obviously you're not going to do 500 every time, but you could sort of do 450, 460 every 8.8 seconds, which is very, very nice. 370 on your heat and 530 on your HE. Your aim time's decent, I mean not the best, at 3.2 as well, and your gun dispersion kind of average, nothing great, at 0.344. It also has 6 degrees of gun depression, so not the best gun gun depression out there. I mean, only 6 degrees, you do feel it sometimes, but you know, 6 degrees for everything. If it had 10 degrees, then I would probably be saying that this tank is the most broken tank ever to come into the game. It also has full 45 kilometers per hour, which is very, very nice going forward. However, 12 in reverse is quite slow. But overall, just the overall gameplay, the gameplay itself, like, it is really nice. You can have some really good games, some really strong games. Put your tank in a certain position and you will have a very, very fun time. Now, straight away after the tank is released, within days, there are so many people that are getting high damage games. Now, we've already shown a 10,800 damage game already in this tank. Usually when a new tank is coming to the game, it does take a while to get that kind of damage. Yeah, for the first days, you know, you see 7,000, 6,000. Usually, if you look at Blitz Hall of Fames, people do the sort of 5,000-6,000 post their high damage as a Hall of Fame. And then, of course, over time that they do get overtaken by the higher damage games, the 7,000s, the 8,000s, the 9,000s. But straight off the bat, a 10,800, many 8,000 games. We've already shown a couple, and today we will show you another 8,000 plus damage as well. So yeah, you get yourself on a ridge, line, and you will have a very, very fun time, because it does have a good turret. It has a good turret. The only thing you do struggle with is that gun depression, and that's where I said if it had that gun depression, it would be a completely broken tank. It's already an OP tank as it is, in my opinion. Again, you guys might have a different opinion. Some of you might come up against it and think, that's not a strong tank. Or some of you might have played the tank and think, it's not as strong as it looks. But yeah, if you play it correctly, it really is a strong tank. Now, of course, people have to spend a lot of money. It come in crates that I don't recommend. But yeah, do I think that this tank is going to come back soon? I don't think so. I mean, if you look at tanks like the Object 268 version 4, the T22, and some other tier 10s out there that have been very, very strong. The T22 was a classic example. Wargaming bring it in crates. No, Wargaming bring it in the Christmas, where you had to spend sort of, unless you got really, really lucky, you had to spend over 500, 600, 700 pounds to get the tank. After that, because it was so strong, Wargaming didn't sell it for a very, very long time, and you could never buy the tank outright. You could buy crates after a while, but yeah, Wargaming didn't ever sell it. They did not ever sell it outright for gold or for money. The only way you could potentially get the tank is in crates. Obviously, over time, Wargaming has sort of adjusted that and gone a bit lenient on it, and they have sold it a few times for gold. I'm talking about the T22, but it's not often something like the T22 comes for sale for gold. Usually it is the crates. I mean, we've just had it here with the lock boxes. So that is usually what happens with tanks like the T22. And I think this tank will be another one of those. I could be wrong. Wargaming could sort of, you know, in a couple of months' time, it could be in the store for 20,000 gold, 25,000 gold. But at this moment in time, I cannot see that happening. I don't think that will happen. And again, I'm just talking through experience with other tanks that have been as strong as this tank. I just don't think it will happen. I think over time, yes, in a couple of years or a year time, you might see it for gold. But overall, I don't think that this is the kind of tank that's going to come for sale often. And yeah, I'm in a way I am pleased with that, because I think it is a very, very strong tank, and the less Wargaming sell of these, the less there is in tier 10, and the less you have to come up against. But I got the tank. I'm glad I got the tank. I really didn't have to spend a lot. After I spent a few crates, I got very lucky. And I'm glad I got it. I really am glad I got it, and it's definitely going to be one of those tier 10 tanks tanks I play often, and that is what I look at now when I sort of buy tanks, or when I recommend tanks to you guys that are coming into the store. Yes, I'd always recommend you guys not to spend money on crates, because it's not worth it. It's, you know, crates are here. I've had my opinion on crates, but we've got to get to the fact that crates are not going anywhere. And if I think there was a good deal with crates, then I would say, you know what, guys, yes, it is crates, but these are really, really good deals. But for the fact 99% of the crates that come into the game are not really that good deals. So that's why at the moment, like, I would never recommend buying crates, because you spend all this money just for a chance to get the tank. Now you've got these special crates, you know, special where you buy a tier 5 and you're guaranteed a tier 5 tank. If you've got that tier 5, you then get a tier 6 crate. If you've got that tank, then you get a tier 7 crate. Those are actually really, really good because you're guaranteed the tank. Now, Wargaming have started doing the charms where you get 25 or 30 charms, then you guarantee the tank. But that is still like a lot of money that you have to spend to be able to get the tank. And no tank is worth, literally no tank in the game is worth you having to buy the 25 or the 30 crates, because that is still a few £100. And no tank in the game is worth that. If you get lucky, sometimes the 2-for-1, you know, where they always do it, where you spend a £5 and you get £5 and you get two crates, yeah, they can be worthwhile. And if you don't get the tank, then you're not really losing that much money. So yeah, I'd never at the moment recommend crates, because they're just not worth recommending. So with this game, as you can see already, he hasn't bounced anything as of yet, and he's lost quite a lot of hit points. Of course, when you're going to come up against these tank destroyers with extremely high pen, then of course you're not going to be able to penetrate everything. But when you come up against those heavies, the medium tanks, the light tanks, and you're angled in a certain angle position, then yeah, that is where you can start getting these bounces. And this is where the armor profile comes into it here. This guy here, he's up against two tanks in front of him. He's up against the grill, and of course he's up against that WZ121. He's only about 600 so far from the grill, and now unfortunately he's been penetrated and he's only on 2 hit points. That is literally a love tap, you know. A little ram will be enough for anybody to kill the Object 777. Or even if he loses this game right now, he's still done 4,000 damage. He has still done a remarkable job. But considering there are 3 enemy tanks that are not really going to focus him, they need to take priority in taking this tank out, not going for the easy target, which is the waffle there. They need to sort of ignore the waffle and go for the 2 hit point tank, because as I always say in my videos, it doesn't matter if you've got 1 hit point or 1,000 hit points or 2,000 hit points. If you can take out the tank, take out the tank. Now, you get a lot of players out there driving tanks like a Death Star or a Jaegeru or a Grill or anything with high alpha. They usually ignore the very, very low hit point tanks, because they are after damage. That is all they want. They want damage. Now, in this situation, he's on 2 hit points. I mean, the Yo at this point could just drive forward. The VK45 at this point could just drive forward. That is all they need to do. There's 2 tanks, 1 in front and 1 trying to get behind. No idea why this VK just stopped right there. Like, keep going. Look at them. These are absolutely so funny. What are you doing? He's now got a tank behind him and a tank in front of him, and he's still getting blocked damage. Like, it's almost the impossible at this point. Almost the impossible. What are they doing? There's 1 bounce, there's 2 bounces, there's 3 bounces, and at this point they are both on a reload. He can take out the Yo, and it's now a 1 versus 1. If he gets, with the DPM of this tank, if he gets another bounce from this VK, it is definitely going to be game over. He's managed to block 3,300 damage, and there's going to be a shot there. So now 3,700 damage. All they needed to do was a little love tap. However, Micah's not found. That is still a very, very good job. And that just goes to show what this tank really is capable of doing, even in the open. Yes, it did help Sorry, not Micah's, Milka's. Yes, it did help that he did come up against a couple of guys that just had no clue whatsoever. But that is the tank, and that is what the tank can do. If you was driving an E100 at that point, or an IS7 or an IS4, I don't think that would have been. I don't think that would have been a victory. But 8,100 damage. That's one of a few 8,000 damage games, and as I've shown before, we've already shown a 10.8 thousand game damage. One of the highest damages to ever be done in Blitz. But as far as I'm currently at the moment, I would go to say that this is one of the best tier 10 tanks to ever come into World of Tanks Blitz. Not the most OP, but the best tier 10 overall tank to ever come in Blitz. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think is the best tier 10 tank to ever be in the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69. I said the same thing yesterday. I don't know if there's going to be a video tomorrow. I currently haven't made a video for tomorrow. If I do get time, you know, I'm traveling literally from sort of 3 in the morning until 2 in the morning the next day. So I don't know if I will get time to make a video, but I will try. Seeing as I'm Tank Fest, I might try to make a video on the best tank that is at Tank Fest and play it in the game, show you the tank in real life, what it's like at Tank Fest. But stay tuned, and yeah, get subscribing, guys, because again, we're going to have some giveaways hopefully, and you need to be a subscriber. So help the channel out, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is our target. By the end of the year, let's get to 70,000 subscribers. It is absolutely free, doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps me out a very, very lot. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Meadsy. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.